Part 4. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 31. Ren stepped forward and gently patted her back to calm her down. She didn't say anything, waiting quietly for her mother to calm down. There are some things that she can't replace, and she can only rely on herself. She believes that her mother will come out. Half an hour later, the two sat in a cafe. In the corner, the mother's face was pale and her bright eyes became dim. Looking at her mother's appearance, Ren felt uncomfortable. "Mom, are you okay?" Rensuya looked at her daughter in front of her, looked at the worry in her eyes, and suddenly smiled. Tears slid from the corners of her eyes while she smiled, and a bitter smile appeared at the corners of her lips. Ren, Mom is useless, Mom is sorry for you, and you have been wronged. Ren held her hand. "Mom, I am not wronged." Facing her sensible daughter, Rensuya felt a burst of pain in her heart. "When did you know?" 2 months ago. Since she was reborn. "Why don't you?" The 3 words "tell me" were stuck in her throat. She counted the words her daughter often said in her ear. She didn't think much of it before, but now she thinks about it carefully. It's not that her daughter didn't remind her, but that she was too stupid and trusted that man too much. Are those traces of women on your father's clothes and the lipstick on the car your masterpiece? From the fact that Konglji took his mistress and illegitimate daughter to go shopping in other provinces and cities, it can be seen that he is cautious. How could such a cautious person leave such obvious traces on his body? Yes. Do your grandparents know about it? Rensuya glanced at Gao Ying who was waiting outside. Ren nodded. Rensuya smiled bitterly. She, as a daughter, didn't do well, and her parents and daughter needed to worry about her. Her parents once told her that he was not her good man, but she didn't believe it and would not marry him. Now thinking back, she understands the accuracy of her parents' vision. Ren touched the bag, not knowing whether to give her the things in the bag. Today's incident was too much of a blow to her mother, and she was worried that she would not be able to bear it. Rensuya noticed her daughter's movements. "Tell me everything, don't worry, I can bear it. Your mother is not as vulnerable as you think. In her previous life, the sudden death of her grandparents and her father's repeated infidelity made her exhausted and sad, which led her to a dead end. In this life, her grandparents are still alive, and with her own advance hints, her mother will not follow the old path." After thinking about it, Ren put the information in the bag on the table. This is about part of Ruan Fengru and Dad, and there are more things that have not been investigated clearly. Taking it from her, Rensuya flipped through it. Her expression became colder and paler. The information records the truth of her mother's self-righteous love. This information was obtained by Gao Ying from her grandparents. After she reminded her grandfather last time, her grandfather began to investigate her father. After finding out his cheating partner, the experienced grandfather investigated Ruan Fengru as well. During this investigation, the whereabouts of one of the money caught my grandfather's attention. Since the 2nd year after my mother married my father, Ruan Fengru has remitted money to an account every year, ranging from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands. For people of my grandfather's level, these sums of money are not worth mentioning. Most people would not take it to heart, but my grandfather was very perceptive and began to ask people to investigate the owner of the account, and it was easy to find the other party. People who can be bribed with money are naturally vulnerable in front of money. From that person, I learned that the hero who saved the beauty that my mother and father had met was a scam to trick my mother into falling into the trap. Konglji and Ruan Fengru found the gangster and deliberately let him harass my mother, and then my father came out to save the beauty. My father beat the gangster away and was injured. In order to repay the favor, my mother often went to the hospital to visit my father, and the two had an intersection. Ruan Fengru and my mother were students in the same department. She deliberately approached my mother, understood her mother's preferences, and then told my father. My father built a perfect man for me according to her preferences, which was in line with her ideal type. After a while, my mother found that my father and her values were in line with each other, and his way of dealing with people made her feel very comfortable. The girl, the simple mother who had never experienced the baptism of a scumbag, soon fell into the false love of her father under the big net they woven. My mother believed that my father was her true love. In those days, my grandfather also investigated Konglji, but at that time the gangster had not yet entangled with them, so naturally he did not find this clue. If they had found it, they would never let my mother marry my father. If my mother had not accidentally conceived her, my grandfather would not have compromised so quickly. Seeing the calculations of my father and Ruan Fengruo, Ren Ran couldn't help thinking that the drunken incident when my mother got pregnant with her was probably also designed by them. Ren Suya's face was pale. Mom Ren Ran worriedly stepped forward and hugged her. "You still have me, Grandpa and Grandma, we all love you." She patted her mother's back gently one after another to calm her down. Half an hour later, the mother's mood gradually calmed down, but her face still looked bad. "Of course, they are all liars." "Yes, they are all liars. They are not just liars, they are simply executioners." After returning from Hangzhou, Ren Suya was in a daze and could not get over the blow for a while. Seeing that the car was about to go home, Ren Suya, who had been sitting still, suddenly spoke out. "I don't want to go back and see him." "Okay, we won't go back." Ren Ran had this intention: go to the mountainside villa. The car turned in one direction and headed towards the villa on the mountainside. When Ren Suya saw her elderly parents, she could no longer control her tears. On the way back, Ren Ran had already told his grandparents. Grandma stepped forward and hugged her daughter, patting her gently. "Don't be afraid, you still have us and Ran Ran." No matter how old the mother is, in the eyes of her grandparents, she is still their little princess. "He lied to me and made me miserable. Mom, I hate it. I shouldn't have disobeyed you. I was wrong, so wrong. Why did they do this to me?" Grandma followed and wiped her tears. Grandpa wanted to step forward, but couldn't intervene, so he stayed aside and watched the mother and daughter holding their heads and crying. An hour later, my mother and grandmother finally stopped crying and felt much calmer. "The four members of the family don't look very good. You have never suffered much in your life. It would be better if you suffer a little now so that you can have a longer memory," Ren Hungruo said solemnly. Ren Suya did not refute and acquiesced. Ren Hungruo looked at Ren Ran with a searching look in his eyes, but he hesitated to speak several times. "Grandpa, just ask whatever you want to ask." Ren Ran roughly guessed what Grandpa wanted to ask. "What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her." Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 32. Ren Suya looked puzzled, her eyes scanning back and forth between Ren Hungruo and Ren Ran. "Ran Ran, how do you know this?" If his granddaughter hadn't reminded him, he would have been deceived by this evil wolf. A person's disguise for more than 20 years, little by little, let them down their guard. This process is not something that ordinary people can do. He was impressed by his caution and patience. How could his granddaughter know about such a person? Some words can deceive a simple mother, but it is not good enough to deceive a grandfather. Of course, Ren Ran never thought of lying to them. "I didn't say it before because the matter of rebirth was incredible. Even if I said it, they might not believe it. When they began to doubt and start thinking, I would tell them everything, which would be more convincing." Ren Ran looked at the three most important people in her life, and said softly word by word, "What I am going to say next will exceed your cognition, but every word is the truth." The solemn expression of her daughter made Ren Suya sit up straight unconsciously and listen attentively. "I was reborn." Grandpa and Grandma's pupils shrank slightly, and Mother's eyes widened. almost thinking she was hallucinating. In my previous life, this year, I was framed by Pei-Ming, which led to my reputation being ruined, and I suffered from depression. Next spring, Grandpa and Grandma will have a car accident. At that time, my father has already taken control of the group. Soon after, he brought his mistress and illegitimate daughter to the house. Mom couldn't accept it and argued with him. He beat my mother, and the next night, my mother swallowed a bottle of sleeping pills and left. I was so angry that I fought with them, but in the end, I was beaten up by him, and he directly drove me out of the villa. Yaxing group also left from anyone. The family home directly became the property of Konglji. Ruan Fengru and her daughter relied on the Yaxing group to become successful women in the financial circle. Their daughter Konglian entered the entertainment circle and became the daughter of the Yaxing group that everyone envied. And I was penniless and could only sleep under the bridge every day. When I was hungry, I could only beg or look for food in the trash can. At this point, the faces of Grandpa, Grandma, and Mother became extremely ugly, and tears in the mother's eyes fell. They did not interrupt her and listened quietly. Until my grandfather's secretary Chin Quan found me, gave me a sum of money, and settled me in a rental house in the village in the city. He got my ID card and found a job for me. Later, I interviewed companies by myself, every time. Listening to her narration of her unfortunate life one by one, even if they did not experience it personally, they could not help but break out in a cold sweat. I came out of the hospital that day, holding a report of advanced gastric cancer, and met a Taoist priest. He told me that I was supposed to have a noble life, but someone stole my fate. They changed my noble life into a lonely and evil life. I thought it was a turnaround, but I didn't expect a car out of control to rush towards me and I died under the wheels. As soon as the voice fell, Ran Suya couldn't help it anymore and hugged her. My Ran, my daughter. Grandpa's face was calm, but his clenched fists were trembling slightly, obviously angry. From her narration, combined with her actions, how could he not understand what role those people played in this? Did your father exchange your fate with that illegitimate daughter? Ran Suya asked. Ran nodded, yes. Only when I am more miserable and unhappy, their lives will be better, and their fate can be completely changed. Even if she didn't say it in detail, this sentence can already peek into her life in the previous life, which is far more miserable than what they heard. Beast. Ren Hung threw the teacup in his hand heavily to vent his anger. The grandmother hurried forward and patted the old man on the back. Don't get excited, take care of yourself. Although she said so, she hated Konglji in her heart. Ren Suya choked, you are also his daughter, how can he treat you like this? Even a tiger won't eat its own cubs, but he is even more cruel than a beast. Ren Hung snorted with contempt, he has been calculating since he met you. The daughter you gave birth to is just the product of his calculations. Will a person like him have mercy on tools? He will only maximize the benefits of tools. After seeing through Konglji's wolfish ambitions, he was not surprised at all about what he did to Ran. Even if he felt that it was in line with his unfeeling character, he still couldn't calm down. The daughter and granddaughter he had always loved and cherished were tortured and abused by him, and he wished he could cut them into pieces. In the last life, their Ren family was too miserable. They were devoured by this evil wolf. They stepped on the flesh and blood of their Ren family to build their great cause and enjoy the fruits of victory with the blood of the Ren family. Grandma asked, did your aunt's family unite with them? Grandma thought of the Buddha amulet and what her granddaughter said. Ran told Suying about how she knew Pei Ming and what Pei Ming did to her in school. At the same time, she explained in detail how her uncle's family was doing well in the last life. She had no evidence to prove that her aunt's family was in collusion with Konglji's family, but all signs had shown that her aunt's family would definitely not be innocent in defeating their family. As for what role they played in it, she had not found out yet. Your good niece's family is not a good thing either, Grandma snorted coldly. The last time Ren Shuyun's family came to borrow money, they were messed up by Ren Ran. Ren Hongru found an excuse and didn't lend the money. The couple directly asked his sister-in-law to come and borrow money. Ren Hongru was prepared to move some of his personal money to lend them for the sake of his sister-in-law and his deceased brother. Now it seems unnecessary. They are all a bunch of dog-hearted people, Grandma scolded angrily. This time it was Grandma's turn to comfort Grandma and tell her not to be angry. Your fate. Ren Ran explained in detail the matter of Taoist Qingxian and his master's wandering. This kind of thing should be handed over to professionals. You make an appointment another day. I want to meet the Taoist priest. Okay. Dad, kick him out of the company. Ren Suya couldn't stand it when she thought of how he treated her daughter. When she thought of the suffering her daughter had suffered in her previous life, the reluctance before, and the pain of betrayal, all turned into hatred. Stupid, Ren Hongru whispered. Ren Suya was scolded by her father and felt a little wronged. Ren Ran held his mother's hand and explained in a low voice, Mom, you should have seen that they had a plan to approach you from the beginning. They have only one target, Asia Star Group. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 33. He has been in the company for so many years, and he must have cultivated many confidants. We can't act rashly before we pull all his people out of the company. Once he is forced into a desperate situation, no one knows what crazy actions he will take. We must take this matter slowly. Speaking of this, Ren Ran sighed and said with some emotion, for so many years, he has created the image of a good husband, a good son-in-law, and a good father in front of us, in front of his grandparents, and in front of outsiders. Even if we tell others that he cheated, it is difficult for others to believe it. Not to mention that cheating is too common for people in this circle. Keeping the company is one thing, but I am not willing to just keep the company. I want them to taste the suffering I suffered in my previous life. I want to make his 20 years of scheming come to nothing in one day. When saying the last sentence, Ren Suya was shocked by her daughter's cruelty, and she felt distressed after she came to her senses. She knew her daughter's character best. Such a kind and innocent child was forced to this point by them. Ren Hongru nodded in agreement and looked at his daughter with dissatisfaction. You really should learn from Ran Ran. You are not qualified as a mother at all, and you are not as good as Ran Ran. Ren Suya lowered her head and listened obediently. Grandma looked at the mother and daughter. She was very confident in her granddaughter, but not in her daughter. It is said that a mother knows her daughter, and she naturally knows what kind of character she is. In front of an old fox like Konglji, a daughter who can't hide her thoughts can easily reveal her feet. You move back home during this period. With them watching, they can cover for her. Ren Hongru nodded, the branch needs manpower, I will transfer him away. You'd better meet less. Ren Suya has no human rights at all. In short, she does whatever her parents say. She listens to whatever her daughter says. She also knows her own temperament. It's okay to act for a while, but she is afraid of being exposed after a long time. Once exposed, it will be detrimental to the plans of her parents and daughter. Call him now and tell him that your leg is injured. I'll let you stay here, Grandma said. Ren Suya was about to call, but was stopped by Ren Ran. Let me do it. On the other side, Konglji and his family of 3 happily finished their meal and went on a boat trip together. It was 11 o'clock in the evening when they got off the boat. Dad, let's stay here today, Kong Lian said coquettishly. Ruan Fengru also had expectations in her eyes. He was about to agree when the phone in his pocket vibrated. Ran Ran, What's wrong? Mom is injured. Injured? What's going on? Konglji's tone was anxious, but his face was calm. I was accidentally hit on the way to dinner, and my mother sprained her leg. We are now at Grandma's place. Dad, when will you be back? I'll be back soon. After Konglji hung up the phone, he said to Ruan Fengru and her daughter, not today, something happened over there. Lian, Dad will accompany you next time. Kong Lian was still a little unhappy, but her mother's eyes made her dare not say a word more. Ruan Fengru walked up to him, tidied his clothes, and said gently, go and do your work, don't let her wait anxiously. Okay. Konglji leaned over and kissed her forehead, then hurried away. The mother and daughter looked at his back as he left, with different expressions on their faces. Ruan Fengru tilted her head and saw that her daughter looked unhappy. Why, you are not convinced? Mom, are you willing? Why should they be like rats in the ditch and hide from the light? Why should the father go there as soon as the mother and daughter call? She just can't accept it? Ruan Fengru was not angry, her voice was still calm. If you are not convinced, you have to hold it in. When you destroy her reputation and make her live in unrest, that will be our day to come out. Before you achieve it, no matter how unconvinced you are, you have to bear it. Don't ruin your father's good deeds, understand? Girl. I know. Hearing the threat in her mother's words, Kong Lian shrank her neck and responded obediently. It was early morning when Konglji arrived at the villa halfway up the mountain. Grandpa and Grandma had gone to rest, and Ran had been waiting for him. Ran, how is your mom? Konglji asked with concern. The doctor has seen her. She has a sprained ligament. It's not a big problem. She just needs to take good care of herself. Dad, don't worry too much. Seeing that he was going to stay, Ran hurriedly added, Mom has gone to bed now. You can go to the guest room to sleep. You kid. Konglji tapped her forehead with his finger. Mom is most afraid of pain. If you wake her up now, she will be in so much pain that she can't sleep. Won't you feel bad then? Okay, I know, Konglji said with a doting look on his face. In the end, Ran pushed Konglji away. She was worried about leaving them alone at this time. Give her mother some time. She believes that she will get used to acting with the man in front of her. With her grandmother watching her during the day and her grandfather around, Ran doesn't need to worry about it. The next day, Ran went to school in her grandfather's Rolls-Royce Phantom. When she got out of the car, many people looked at her sideways. Among them were Kong Lian and his group. Is that a Rolls-Royce Phantom? Yes, that's it. Wow, that's a luxury car worth tens of millions. Kong Lian listened to the discussions of the people around him and felt irritated. Watching Ran walk into the school like a little princess under the attention of everyone, his eyes narrowed slightly. You won't be so proud for long, soon all this will be mine. Kong Lian entered the classroom with her companions with a smile. As soon as Ran sat down, Zhao Yi came to her side, took out his mobile phone and showed her the campus network. Look at this post, it's really rampant. The post was posted anonymously last night. The main content is that the first place in the grade for next week's monthly exam will most likely be the new transfer student Kong Lian. The content above is implicit, just short of directly writing that Kong Lian is the first in the grade. Do you think this post was posted by her? Not sure. Tisk, you want to take the first place in the grade as soon as you come, you are really crazy. I don't know why Zhao Yi doesn't like Kong Lian, always feels that person is fake. She is an external aide invited by the principal. It's not normal for her to be the first in the school. Ran smiled indifferently. While the two were talking, they heard a quarrel from the back. Guo Tongwen and Tanjia quarreled, and the sound was so loud that it directly attracted the attention of the whole class. Guo Tongwen, don't defend Ran just because she spoke up for you last time. How did I defend her? I was just telling the truth. Tangia was so angry that she didn't want to talk to her anymore. Okay, let's not talk about the previous things for now, let's talk about the topic we just talked about. I said Kong Lian can be the first in the class and the first in the grade. Why are you being so sarcastic? Could it be that she can't do it, but Ren Ran can? What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 34. What did I say? I just said how can you be so sure? Am I wrong? Or do you have some inside information? The number one in the grade has been determined by someone. As soon as Guo Tongwen said these words, people around him gasped. Don't talk nonsense like Guo Tongwen, someone reminded. Tangia was driven crazy by her. You are just messing around. It's a fact that Ren Ran can't compare to Kong Lian. Let's just wait and see whether it's you or me who is right. When did I say that Ren Ran's grades were first in grade? Humph, why don't you dare to compare now? You used to praise each other, but now you don't dare to say anything? It seems that you also know that Ren Ran is not as good as Kong Lian, Tangia sarcastically said. What kind of jewelry are you comparing to? What are your parents? These are all false. We are students, and what we should compare most is our grades. People who had always had a good relationship with Kong Lian started to boo after hearing this. Previously, Guo Tongwen had been complimenting and criticizing Kong Lian, and had been scorning and mocking Kong Lian. Kong Lian never cared about her and told them not to care about each other. Now that I finally got the chance, I had to stand up for Kong Lian no matter what. After all, people with short hands have short hands. Kong Lian was very generous, often bringing them gifts and often taking them to have big dinners. Based on this alone, they cannot sit idly by. This is not easy. You will see the real results in the monthly exam. That's right. Just let Kong Lian and Ren Ran make a bet. Whoever is first in grade will win. Whoever loses will treat the whole class to a 2-day weekend trip. Others' eyes lit up when they heard about the 2-day weekend trip. Haha, that's a good idea. Zhao Yi stood up immediately. What are you making a fuss about? Their quarrel is their business. What's going on with two innocent people, Ren Ran and Kong Lian? Kong Lian's little follower Hu Ziyu didn't agree. Hey, you know you will lose, so you don't dare. I used to show off all the time, but now that it's time to show off with real swords and guns, I don't dare to do it anymore. I'm so cowardly. Kong Lian stood aside without making any movement, looking at Ren Ran with a smile on his face. Ren Ran's eyes met hers, and the corners of her lips were raised slightly, with the same false smile. Zhao Yi still wanted to speak, but his shoulders felt heavy and Ren Ran's voice sounded in his ears. Isn't it just a competition? I agree, but it doesn't work. It depends on Kong Lian. Ren Ran kicked the ball to the opponent. Facing the gazes from everyone, Kong Lian sighed quietly, we are all classmates. We should help and support each other instead of tit for tat. Kong Lian, everyone has said that. If you don't dare to agree, won't it make you feel guilty and you don't dare to compete with her? Your concession will be seen as weak and bullyable in the eyes of others. It's not worth it. Kong Lian seemed to be moved by their persuasion and felt a little embarrassed. She glanced at Ren Ran, then at the others, and reluctantly agreed, okay. Regardless of whether I win or not, I hope it won't affect our relationship. His voice was gentle and soft, and he looked at Ren Ran with a smile. Compared with hypocrisy, who can't do it? Ren Ran nodded in agreement, you're right, no matter whether you win or I win, I will cover the weekend travel expenses. The other students all had smiles on their faces, and many felt it was grand. Ren Ran, awesome, a male classmate raised his thumb at her. Ji Qing, another follower of Kong Lian, saw that Ren Ran had the upper hand, but refused to agree. This is because he knew that he was going to lose, and he was prepared in advance. Zhao Yi's bad temper suddenly came out. Ji Qing, did you eat feces this morning? Your mouth is so smelly. Ji Qing is not someone to be trifled with. Anyway, she has Kong Lian as her backer, so she has nothing to fear. As long as she pleases her, there will be many benefits in the future. I'm just telling the truth. Why aren't people talking these days? Ren Ran was not angry, and looked at Ji Qing with a smile. Since you said so, then okay. Whoever loses gets a treat. Classmates, it's not that I'm not happy, it's just that people's words are terrible. Alas, originally I want to prepare a high-standard super 5-star trip for everyone. She had a look of regret on her face. It's okay, everyone understands. It doesn't matter. Everyone understands. Anyway, no matter who wins or loses, they all get to play for free. As soon as the bet came out, Guo Tongwen realized that she was being used as a gunman and was taken to a ditch and tricked Ren Ran. Now that I see Ren Ran saying this, I will make amends immediately. Ren Ran, don't worry. If Kong Lian loses, her travel standards will not be lower than your 5-star standards. She is also the daughter of the Walrus Group, so she is definitely not stingy. Ren Ran glanced at Guo Tongwen and realized that this girl was very good. Zhao Yi also said, that's natural. The daughter of Walrus Group is extraordinary. Kong Lian smiled and noticed the expectant eyes of his classmates. He smiled and said, if I lose, I will invite the students to Mingshan Island Resort for 2 days. I will pay for all the expenses. She looked at Ren Ran. The 2-day trip to Mingshan Island was all-inclusive. Gee, Kong Lian couldn't help but feel happy when she thought of seeing the final bill. Those two idiots thought they were digging a hole for her, but they didn't know that they were digging a hole for that little bitch Ren Ran. A farce gambling game that seemed inexplicable to outsiders, but it seemed like it had wings, spreading throughout the entire grade, including the lower grades. The bet between Kong Lian and Ren Ran was well known, which led to everyone looking forward to it. Students from the next class often came to the class to watch the two gamblers. Fu Yan, a well-known student scum in the school, put his hands in his pockets, leaned against the door of the class, and held a cigarette in his mouth. Are they the two who made the bet? The attendant beside him nodded, yes, they are the two. Hey, two betting girls, what's the fun of inviting people from the same class for a 2-day trip? If you want to invite the whole grade. That's exciting. Fu Yan wanted to say all the teachers and students in the school, but after thinking about it, he decided not to. Other senior high school students passing by stopped and looked at Ren Ran and Kong Lian eagerly. Ren Ran was stunned. Kong Lian was also stunned. The classmates in the class were all stunned, staring at Fu Yan. Miss Ren, Miss Kong, are you willing to let them go? Oh, they are the daughters of a listed group. Why would they be reluctant to invite the whole grade to play? You underestimate them too much. The followers were all making a fuss, and the students from other classes were waiting for their responses with curiosity and expectation. If they agreed, they would all benefit. Mingshan Island is a nationally famous super 5-star tourist resort. It is located in the suburbs of Haishi. It only takes half an hour to take a ferry. It cost tens of billions to build the world's largest water world and the most beautiful aquarium. The island has everything you need for food, accommodation, travel, and sightseeing. Of course, the consumption is also very high, with an average per capita consumption of 5,000 yuan. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Yet. Chapter 35. Each class has about 40 students, and there are 5 classes in the whole grade. If we calculate the lowest per capita cost of 5,000 yuan, this trip will cost nearly 1 million yuan. Ren Ran smiled, no problem for me. Students from other classes outside the corridor were all happy. They looked at Kong Lian with expectant eyes. Kong Lian felt the pressure, shrugged indifferently, and said with a relaxed attitude, "No problem for me." Fu Yan's followers raised their thumbs to him. "Boss, you can do it? Boss is awesome." Many people looked at Fu Yan with more favorable eyes, because this was for the benefit of the whole grade. The news quickly spread throughout the grade and even the whole school. After this competition, both Ren Ren and Kong Lian became famous in the school. Whoever lost would be really embarrassed. Zhao Yi poked Ren Ren with his elbow. "Are you serious?" If he agreed to this, millions would be gone. Of course. Zhao Yi wanted to chat, but then she thought of something. "I won't disturb you from reviewing. You study hard. I don't ask you to be the first in the grade, as long as you beat Kong Lian." She patted Ren Ren on the shoulder. "Come on." In the previous life, Kong Lian's grades were very good, basically ranking in the top 3 in the grade, and occasionally occupying the first place in the grade. She dared to mobilize so many people now, so she was sure to be the first in the grade. You want to ask Ren Ren if she has the confidence to defeat Kong Lian? Of course she does. Her biggest reliance is rebirth. It stands to reason that a monthly exam would have been blurred after more than 10 years, but this time the monthly exam questions were different from usual. They were the college entrance examination papers of Province Z 5 years ago, which were very difficult, so she was impressed. After rebirth, Ren Ren consolidated her previous knowledge while doing the college entrance examination questions of various provinces in previous years, and practiced a lot of questions every day. In the past, her academic performance was very good in the eyes of outsiders, and she felt that it was enough to get into the university she wanted, so she didn't use all her strength, and the whole person was in a very relaxed learning state. After returning once, she was no longer careless and used all her strength to study. She had been waiting for Kong Lian's arrival, and had long wanted to destroy her proud academic performance. In her previous life, even though she had the ability to surpass her, every time she saw her care about grades and rankings, she never dared to show that she was better than her. At that time, she was probably afraid of losing this friend. She wanted to gain a foothold in the school and win people's hearts through the persona of a white, rich, beautiful, and academic master, but she was not as good as she wanted. She wanted to destroy everything she was proud of one by one. Just after coming out of the bathroom, she saw that the bell for class was about to ring, but someone blocked her in front of her. "What's the matter?" Ren Ren looked at Tanjia. Tanjia said, "You have to be careful of Kong Lian." Leaving the sentence, she hurried away. Looking at Tanjia's back as she left, Ren Ren smiled. Be careful of Kong Lian. She naturally had to be careful of her. In the previous life, she stole her fate and enjoyed the life that originally belonged to her. How could she take it lightly? This Tanjia is very interesting. On the weekend, she was studying at the villa in the middle of the mountain. Aunt Wang came upstairs and knocked on her door. "Miss, there is a teacher named Lin who wants to see you. He said he is your English teacher." Teacher Lin. Ren Ren was a little surprised and hesitated for a moment. "Let him in." "Okay." Standing at the foot of the villa area in the middle of the mountain, Lin Wenchen's eyes were full of envy. This place may not be available even if you have money. After receiving the notice, the security department sent a car to take Lin Wenchen up. Along the way, Lin Wenchen looked around and couldn't help but marvel at the beautiful environment here. After arriving at the villa, there was a special person waiting to take Lin Wenchen to the reception room. "Teacher Lin, sit down." Ren Ren held a teacup in his hand and motioned him to sit down. After seeing the familiar people, Lin Wenchen's previous restraint disappeared for the most part. After Aunt Wang served the tea, Ren Ren asked, "What does Teacher Lin want to talk to me about?" Lin Wenchen looked around and made sure no one was paying attention, then he said, "I know everything about the bet you made with Kong Lian." Ren Ran listened quietly, waiting for the next words. Do you want to win? This bet is not just about losing that little money, but about their face. The whole school is watching, whoever loses will be embarrassed. Who wants to lose in a bet? Ren Ran said with a smile. I have a way to make you win. Teacher Lin, what do you mean? Ren Ran widened his eyes in surprise. Lin Wenchen smiled, I can tell you the questions for this monthly exam, you just need to give me a certain amount of compensation. How much do you want? Ren Ran asked. Lin Wenchen was secretly happy to hear her so straightforward. 3 million. Ren Ran shook his head, too high, not worth it. He gritted his teeth, 2 million. Ren Ran still shook his head, 1,500,000. This is the lowest price. Compared with Kong Lian, you have little chance of winning her. Instead of losing the game, since you lose face and money, you might as well give me the money. At least you can save face and make you famous. This 1,500,000 is very worthwhile. Okay. The smile on Lin Wenchen's face became brighter at a speed visible to the naked eye. However, I will give you a limited check first, and the check can only be cashed after the result of the game comes out. Teacher Lin, how about it? Lin Wenchen thought for a while, okay. I still trust classmate Ren Ran. I'm going upstairs to get the check. Good. 10 minutes later, Ren Ran came down from upstairs and handed a brand new check to him. Lin Wenchen took a closer look, and after making sure it was correct, he handed a note to the other party. It lists the questions of the monthly exam in detail. Ren Ran, prepare well and strive to get the first place in the exam. Thank you, Teacher Lin, for your blessing. When Lin Wenchen saw her serving tea, he stood up sensibly, and Aunt Wang personally saw him off. As soon as the man left, Ren Ran took out his cell phone and dialed the principal's number. Principal Li, this is Ren Ran. I have something to report to you. Principal Li felt strange. What's the matter? Teacher Lin Wenchen just came to my home and took advantage of my bet with Kong Lian and the questions of this monthly exam to take away 1,500,000 from me. I am afraid that he will follow the same pattern, so I suggest that this time monthly exam questions. Principal Li was stunned. Are you telling the truth? It's absolutely true. I will give you the information Teacher Lin gave me on Monday. After ending the call with Principal Li, Ren Ran leaned on the sofa and turned off the camera. Regardless of whether Lin Wenchen is the person arranged by Kong Lian or not, at this juncture, one must be careful. What's more, she never thought that Kong Lian would play the game calmly and quietly. At the same time, on the top floor of the Yaxing Group building, there was the chairman's office. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Yet. Chapter 36. The secretary knocked on the door of the chairman's office. After a moment, he turned to Konglji and said, Mr. Kong. Konglji followed his secretary into the office. Ren Hongru was standing in front of the floor-to-ceiling window talking on the phone with someone. When he saw Konglji, he motioned with his eyes to take a seat. Konglji did not sit down, but stood to one side, waiting. A minute later, Ren Hongru's call ended. Sit down. At this time, the secretary brought tea, and after everyone left, Ren Hongru spoke. Retsuji, what do you think of the Baikan branch? After Konglji thought about it for a while, he said, the country provides great support to that place and it has great development prospects. He carefully observed his father-in-law's expression and saw that he did not stop him, so he continued to talk, analyzing the market situation and national conditions, combined with the current development momentum of the international market, one by one. Seeing the satisfied look on his father-in-law's face, Konglji became more and more comfortable in explaining. Have a drink of tea. Unconsciously, half an hour had passed. Konglji also felt his mouth was dry and he took a sip of tea. Lji, you and Suya have been married for 19 years, right? Yes, Mr. Ren. Don't be so raw in private. Okay, Dad, Konglji shouted. Lji, I'm getting old, and I'm not as energetic as you young people. Ren Hungruo sighed quietly, saying that time makes people grow old. Dad, what are you talking about? You are still young. Ren Hungruo smiled and waved his hand. From now on, you have to pay more attention to the various matters of this group. Konglji knew best what these words meant. He suppressed the excitement in his heart and kept a calm expression on his face. I still have to learn more under Dad. Ren Hungruo nodded with satisfaction. I have seen your performance in the company over the years and have never forgotten it. The branch needs someone to take charge. Konglji's heart skipped a beat. He was going to be sent abroad. Once he was far away from the headquarters, some things would be beyond his reach. Before he could retort, he heard Ren Hungruo continue, the branch is related to the development direction of the company in the next 10 years. I don't trust others to go there. You go and guard there for Dad. Dad, Baikan is so far away from Haishi. When I go, Suya and the others. Ren Hungruo waved his hand and interrupted him. I told several directors last week about your appointment to the board of directors. Upon hearing this, Konglji immediately cheered up. Regarding this matter, he had already received news from his confidants. The board of directors thinks you are still young. Dad is getting older, and sooner or later this company will be handed over to you. But whether it can be handed over to you smoothly depends on your ability. Go to the branch, work hard, and achieve results. So that everyone on the board of directors can be convinced and your mother and I can enjoy our retirement years. What this sentence means is self-evident. As soon as the branch office performs well, Ren Hungruo will retire and Yaxing Group will be handed over to Konglji. The branch's performance is a springboard for him to join the board of directors. For this reason, there was nothing Konglji could not agree to. Although I don't really like going to the branch, it is a test. As long as the test is passed, Yaxing Group is his. His years of planning will also succeed. He suppressed the excitement in his heart and responded, Dad, I will work hard. Ren Hungruo stood up and patted his shoulder, work hard and don't let me down. I will work hard to achieve results so that I can live up to your cultivation. Ren Hungruo nodded with satisfaction, go and do your work. Konglji left the chairman's office in an excited mood. Konglji returned to the office and couldn't wait to share the good news. He took out a spare mobile phone from the depth of the drawer and dialed a number. A gentle female voice came from the receiver. Right, Sugu. Feng, are you? The old guy finally let go. Our plan will be successful soon, and we can be together forever. Konglji tried his best to speak in a calm tone, but there was still excitement in his tone. Ruan Fengru on the other end of the phone was equally delighted. Really? They will finally be able to keep the clouds clear and see the bright moon. I'll come find you tonight. Good. These days, his wife and daughter have been living in a mountainside villa, which is very uncomfortable for Konglji. Every time I go to mid-level's villa, I feel uncomfortable all over. I just took the excuse of a business trip to go to Sioux City to take a breather. I'll send you an address later and come over tonight. Ruan Fengru responded shyly, okay, I'll go over first. In a 5-star hotel in Suzhou City, Ruan Fengru was wearing sexy lingerie. When the doorbell rang, she opened the door barefoot. When Konglji saw her clothes under her bathrobe, his eyes dimmed, he threw away the luggage in his hands, closed the door, and kissed her impatiently. That night, the two of them seemed to have returned to their youth. However, what they didn't know was that someone had clearly captured it all. The monthly exams came as scheduled, and the senior high school students were not nervous at all about this exam. All their attention was on Ren Ran and Kong Lian. Of course, come on, Zhao Yi cheered. Guo Tongwen encouraged her, we must beat that little green tea. Ren Ran smiled and nodded slightly. By coincidence, Ren Ran and Kong Lian were assigned to the same examination room. The pattern of this exam is based on the college entrance examination pattern. The whole grade is disrupted and the seats are interspersed. Ren Ran was in the third position in the second row on the left. Kong Lian was in the second to last position in the first row on the right. As soon as the bell rang, everyone buried their heads in the questions. Kong Lian glanced at the person in front of her, watching her brushing non-stop, and the corners of her lips slightly raised. Coming out of the examination room, Zhao Yi and Guo Tongwen came forward. How did you do in the exam? This topic immediately attracted the attention of the students around them, and many people listened attentively. Normal performance. Ah, not extraordinary performance, Guo Tongwen was very worried. If Kong Lian, the little bitch, won, wouldn't it be what she wanted? But when she thought about the difficulty of the questions in this monthly exam, this time the questions are more difficult, Kong Lian should not be very good. After 2 consecutive days of exams, it happened to be the weekend after the exams, so Ren Ran gave herself some time to relax. As for the test results, they will be announced next week. Before the announcement, everyone was guessing who would win and who would lose between the two of them. In the second English class on Monday, everyone was stunned when they saw the new faces walking into the classroom. Hey, where is Lao Lin? Is Teacher Lin sick? The head teacher Lao Zhao coughed lightly and signaled everyone to be quiet. Your teacher Lin has something going on at home, so Teacher Gao will take over for the time being. The students below suddenly realized. Teacher Gao is also responsible for teaching English to senior high school students. Everyone has no objection to this, and even if they have an opinion, it is useless. Kong Lian, who was in the audience, heard the concern of the people around him for Lin Wenchen and felt disdainful in his heart. Warm ti. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 37. It was a sunny day when the results were announced. As soon as the results were posted on the bulletin board, Zhao Yi pulled Ren Ran to run to the bulletin board. When they arrived, the bulletin board was already crowded with people. Ren Ran and Kong Lian arrived one after the other. When they arrived, everyone consciously made way for them. Ren Ran and Kong Lian looked at each other and smiled at each other. If you lose, you must fulfill your promise, Ren Ran said with a smile. Of course. You too. Of course. The two walked forward together and looked at the first row on the far left. First place, LV Boyi. Second place, Ren Ran. Third place, Kong Lian. Zhao Yi jumped up excitedly after seeing the result. Ah, Ren Ran, you won, you won. Awesome. I didn't expect Ren Ran to win. Didn't you say Kong Lian was very good before? How come he is only at this level? You can go to Mingshan Island for a trip. I don't know if it will be this week or next week. Kong Lian walked up and said to Ren Ran calmly, congratulations. Congratulations. Ren Ran was also polite. Both of them were polite, without quarreling or cursing, and even with smiles on their faces, but the people around them inexplicably felt a spark, crackling around them. A discordant voice came. How is this possible? With Ren Ran's level, how could he get second place? Ji Qing covered her mouth after she finished speaking, and then looked at Ren Ran with an apologetic face. Sorry, your ranking is not that high on weekdays, I am too surprised. This time, Ren Ran spoke first without waiting for Zhao Yi to speak. What level am I? Do I crush you every time? Or do I always stay in the top 10? The last sentence successfully awakened the memories of others and did not lead them into the ditch. Ren Ran is always in the top 10 in the grade, it is normal for him to climb up now. Of course. Don't people allow progress? Oh my god, I almost thought Ren Ran was in the top 100 when I heard her say that just now. A person who can't get into the top 10 actually laughs at people who are close to the top 10. This world has become impatient, someone pretended to say loudly. Faced with the condemnation of the people around her, Huzio's pretty face turned pale, and she pushed through the crowd and left in a hurry. Ren Ran looked at Kong Lian, asked for the students, when will the promise be fulfilled? The other students immediately quieted down and pricked up their ears to listen. Facing the eager gazes of the crowd, Kong Lian's face did not show the loss of a loser at all. Instead, he was in a good mood and smiled, it's better to do it this weekend than to wait for a day. The senior students cheered. Kong Lian continued to release the heavy news, I will charter a cruise ship and send us directly to Mingshan Island. During the 2 days of the weekend, I will charter Mingshan Island as our grade's exclusive time. You can spend as much as you want on the island. I will cover all the expenses. These words were quite heroic, and the students around were excited. Students from other grades were envious and shed tears. Tisk tisk, this woman wants to make her bankrupt. Charging Mingshan Island, this is really big. Chartering Mingshan Island, contracting all the expenses on the island, no need to calculate carefully, starting from 10 million. She is planning to make me lose my reputation and bleed to pay 10 million for the expenses. Killing people is not as vicious as her mind. Ren Ran raised his hands and clapped again and again, looking at Kong Lian, Ms. Kong is so domineering, I have to applaud you for your generosity. Zhao Yi also clapped, and others also clapped, and some even whistled with joy. Those who wanted to ridicule Kong Lian for not being worthy of the principal's recruitment before did not dare to speak, after all, they were soft-hearted and short-handed. When everyone was immersed in the joy of leaving for Mingshan Island Resort on the weekend, an anonymous post quietly appeared on the campus network, exposing Ren Ran's cheating and attaching a recording as evidence. Because it was at night, not many people paid attention to it. When Ren Ran arrived at school, this post did not explode until after the first class, when it was completely exploded by that scream. Someone in the class exclaimed. Ding Chong, what's wrong? Ding Chong looked at Ren Ran with complicated eyes, and looked at Kong Lian with sympathy, you can go to the campus network and take a look yourself. This aroused the curiosity of many people, and they took out their hidden mobile phones to log in to the campus network. Oh my god! Oh my god! Accompanied by the exclamations, other students who were studying could not hold back their curiosity and came to the students with mobile phones to check. Someone directly released the recording in the explosive post, the recording of the transaction between Ren Ran and Lin Wenchen. Oh my god, it's too exciting. Oh my god, I didn't expect there was such a thing behind this competition. Isn't this too despicable? To win, this is unscrupulous. I was wondering why Ren Ran made such great progress, it turns out that he cheated. Except for this cheater, Kong Lian should be ranked second. Kong Lian is amazing. She just came here and hasn't adapted to the environment yet, but she can take the second place. Once she adapts to the rhythm of our school, she will definitely be the first. I really didn't expect Ren Ran to be such a person. To win, she really does everything, so mean and despicable. All kinds of insults and malicious voices poured into Ren Ran's ears like a tide. Zhao Yi and Guo Tongwen couldn't believe it, but the voices in the audio were indeed those of Ren Ran and teacher Lin. Ren Ran, what's going on? Zhao Yi asked. She didn't want to believe that she was such a person after all. Do you believe me? Ren Ran asked back. Without waiting for Zhao Yi to answer, Guo Tongwen spoke first, I believe you. Ren Ran was surprised. This guy surprised her again. Guo Tongwen deliberately said loudly, someone must have framed you for this. The recording doesn't mean anything. Who knows if it was edited maliciously? Who knows if someone imitated Ren Ran's voice and made a fake recording? Now that technology is so advanced, it's not difficult to make such an audio. As long as you have money and find technicians, you can get it done in minutes. Zhao Yi followed and said, "Yes, that's right. Who can guarantee that this audio is real? I believe Ren Ran." She turned her head to look at the other people in the class and continued, "We have been with Ren Ran for more than 2 years. What kind of person is she? Don't you know?" Kong Lian noticed that the expressions on many people's faces had changed, and her brows were slightly frowned. She winked at Tanjia, who immediately jumped out. "You can't tell a person's heart by looking at his face. There's no guarantee that she's not that kind of person." Guo Tongwen looked at her fiercely. "Tanjia, don't force me to tell you about that." Tanjia's face turned pale, and she shut up in fear. "What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her." Author, Mo Shi Mo Yet. Chapter 38. Guo Tongwen, you are so awesome, you know how to threaten people. Kong Lian's followers followed closely and began to attack. Ren Ran cheated, Kong Lian benefited. As Kong Lian's supporters, they naturally had to protect her interests. There is nothing wrong with doing so, and they have different positions. Since it is innocent, ask Teacher Lin to come and confront. "Oh, have you forgotten that Teacher Lin is no longer here because of something at home? Ha ha ha, Teacher Lin has money and is ready to go out and have fun." Several people squeezed in a yin and yang tone. "Don't say we don't believe Ren Ran. Teacher Lin suddenly left, and you suddenly improved your grades, plus this audio, it's enough to explain the problem. Some people, don't deceive yourself and let someone's disguise deceive you." Kong Lian stood up. "Everyone, say less, justice is in the hearts of the people. There is no need to quarrel, I believe the school will give everyone an explanation. The cheating incident is not only a victim of me, but also everyone." A light sentence pushed Ren Ran to the opposite side of everyone. Suddenly, Ren Ran raised his hands and clapped his hands. "Good, well said. What are you saying?" Ren Ran shrugged, his lips curled up. "Do I have to say it's not good? You. What do you mean by you? Didn't your parents teach you, didn't your junior high school teacher teach you, don't just follow the crowd? You are an adult, but you don't even have the ability to judge yourself." Ren Ran looked at the other person with contempt. These words seemed to be spoken to her alone, but in fact they were spoken to everyone. Kong Lian's heart skipped a beat. Did she want to bribe the principal or find Lin Wenchen? If it was the former, then only her father could solve it. If it was the latter, it was absolutely impossible. Because Lin Wenchen had already taken the money she gave him to go on vacation abroad. How could she leave this handle on Lin Wenchen in the country? As the bell rang, the dispute in the classroom was paused. Teacher Zhao came over with a stack of test papers. "Today is an in-class test. Pass the test papers to the back, don't whisper to each other, don't look around." The next few classes were all in-class tests. Such uniform and intensive in-class tests made the students suspicious in private. The noon bell rang, and a group of students walked towards the cafeteria in unison, walking on the road in twos and threes, chattering about cheating and in-class tests. In-class tests are not normal. Yes. In the past, only 1 or 2 subjects would be involved, but this time all at once, which is not normal. What's even more abnormal is that they are taking in-class tests right after the monthly exam. I suspect that the school is testing Ren Ran's grades. Well, that's possible. Ren Ran, Zhao Yi, and Guo Tongwen were walking in the classroom corridor. From time to time, someone looked at them and their eyes fell on Ren Ran. It's her, isn't it? She's really rich, spending a fortune on a bet. Cheating, so shameless. How dare she come out? People who can do such things must be thick-skinned. Listening to these dirty words, Ren felt as if she was in another world. It was like this when she was framed by Pei Ming. No matter where she went, people would point fingers at her, and the words they said were 100 times more vicious than this. Zhao Yi glared at those gossipers fiercely, and looked at Ren with worry, but saw that the corners of her lips were raised, and she seemed to be in a good mood. Ren, are you okay? Zhao Yi was a little worried. It's okay, Ren smiled, I'll show you a good show later. Good show? What good show? The two were very curious. Aren't you hungry? Ren strode forward, and Zhao Yi and the others hurriedly followed. As she approached the cafeteria, rumors, foul language and contemptuous looks increased. Ren took it calmly. She had experienced it in her previous generation, and she felt a little different when she experienced it again in this life. How dare she come to the cafeteria? How can she still eat after something like this happened? The senior sister is pretty, but she is evil. Cheating is too shameless. Such people have beauty but no character. I have said long ago that these second-generation rich people are not good people. They think they can do whatever they want with a little money. Let's see how she settles this matter. Maybe her family will use money to throw. In the noisy cafeteria, Ren can be said to be the eye-catching existence. Wherever she goes, everyone's eyes are there. Zhao Yi is sharp-eyed and grabbed a table, letting Ren sit there, and she and Guo Tongwen went to get food. Ren had no objection. Kong Lian, Tan Xie, Ji Qing, and Hu Ziyu had just finished their meals and looked around for an empty seat. They saw the empty seat at Ren's table. Tan Xie and the others didn't want to go over, but seeing Kong Lian go over, they naturally had to follow. As soon as Kong Lian approached, they knew she had bad intentions. Before she could speak, Ren blocked their mouths. There are people here, find a seat by yourself. Kong Lian smiled, Ren, you lost our bet this time. So you should pay for the trip to Mingshan Island this weekend. I just want to ask you, what standard are you going to use? Do you need to lower it? If you need to lower it, I can let the people below deal with it in advance. As she approached, the eyes of the people around her gathered here. Many people's eyes were filled with excitement. They ate food and melons at the same time. There was nothing more pleasant than this. On weekdays, some people would watch TV series on the big screen in the cafeteria. Today, no one watched it. They all watched this good show. Kong Lian's question made the senior high school students prick up their ears immediately. They were unwilling to lower their standards. It was human nature to have high standards and not like low standards. Ren looked at her in surprise. Who told you that I lost? This time, Tan Xie did not speak. Hu Ziyu spoke first. Ren, why are you so thick-skinned? The facts are in front of you. Facts? What facts? Seeing that she was still playing dumb, Hu Ziyu laughed angrily. You are a cheating dog. What do you say is the fact? You cheated, your score is invalid. Kong Lian's score moved up and she is the second place. You got 0 points, she is the second place. Who do you say won? You said Ren cheated, so she cheated? Did you see what happened? Zhao Yi brought the food over. Kong Lian smiled helplessly, as if tolerating her unreasonable behavior, and sighed, Ren, are you in any trouble? If so, I'll pay for the expenses this time. We are classmates, it's okay. When she was done with her tricks, Ren kindly reminded her, do you want to take a look at the back first? She was slightly startled, a little confused. The other spectators were the same. Everyone followed the direction of her finger and looked at the big screen in front of the cafeteria. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 39. Chapter 39. The big screen TV that usually plays TV series was replaced by a surveillance video. The video showed a luxurious living room, a 10-meter-high living room with $1 million crystal chandelier hanging on it. A young girl sat on a custom-made leather sofa. Everyone recognized who she was at a glance. Soon a young man came into the video. All high school students knew him. He was none other than teacher Lin, who had asked for leave. Lin Wenchen and Ren Ran appeared in the same screen at the same time, and everyone realized what this video was. Is this a new revelation? It doesn't look like it. This house is so nice. Is it Ren Ran's home? Everyone is there, it must be her home. Whispering sounded from all directions, but soon it spread to every corner of the cafeteria through the big speakers along with the conversation between the two people in the video. The clear conversation between the two was exactly the same as the audio sound in the previous revelation. Zhao Yi was shocked and looked at Ren Ran. Seeing that she was still calm, he suppressed the doubts in his heart and continued to watch. The conversation between the two ended, and Lin Wenchen left. When many people thought that the video ended here and that it was a video of asking for a hammer, the content did not end as easily as they thought. Then the girl in the video called the principal. The clear voice of the girl reached everyone's ears word by word. Just now, teacher Lin Wenchen came to my house and took advantage of the bet between me and Kong Lian and the topic of this monthly exam to take 1.5 million from me. I was afraid that he would do the same, so I suggested changing the topic of this monthly exam. Absolutely true. On Monday, I will give you the information that teacher Lin gave me /. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 40. Throughout the afternoon, Kong Lian had been enduring the pointing and talking of her classmates, trying to stay calm and ignore the contemptuous gazes of the people around her. Even though she kept telling herself in her heart that there was no need to care about the comments of these insignificant people, she still felt depressed and uncomfortable. She endured until school was over, and left in a hurry without waiting for Hu Ziyu and the others. Zhao Yi and the other two looked at her leaving back and smacked their lips twice. She probably doesn't know how ugly her face is. Guo Tongwen smiled and said, she definitely doesn't know. She tried to keep smiling for an afternoon, but that smile was funny to look at. When she reached the school gate, Ren Ran got into the car and waved goodbye to the two. Seeing that she was in a good mood, the driver, Uncle Wang, couldn't help asking, Miss, you are very happy today, but what happy thing happened? I was praised by the teacher, Ren Ran said with a smile. Miss is so outstanding, she deserves to be praised. Some people are happy, some are worried. As soon as Kong Lian returned home, her face was droopy and her eyes were gloomy. What's wrong? Ruan Fengru walked up and handed her a glass of freshly squeezed juice. Kong Lian threw herself into her mother's arms and cried loudly. She waited quietly until she cried enough, and no one comforted her the whole time. After venting her resentment and grievances, Kong Lian raised her head and wiped away her tears. Can you tell me what happened now? She was so happy 2 days ago, but she is like this today. Kong Lian explained the cause and effect of the matter in detail. I really didn't expect that she would tell the principal in advance. I didn't expect that there was a surveillance camera installed in their home. Why didn't Dad tell me? If I knew, I wouldn't have lost so thoroughly. In fact, this is not the point is the following sentence. Mom, I lost. I dug a hole for her, and I have to fill it myself. What should I do now? When Kong Lian thought of the cost of renting Mingshan Island for the weekend, she panicked. The cost of renting Mingshan Island for 2 days alone is nearly 10 million, not to mention renting a cruise ship and all the expenses on the island. In order to set a trap for Ren Ran, they used the highest standards, did not even return the price, and even hinted that the other party had quoted a higher price. Now he has to swallow this bitter fruit himself. Stupid. Kong Lian lowered his head and did not dare to refute. They could not afford tens of millions, so they had to ask their father to pay. Ruan Fengruo stood up. You should reflect on yourself. She walked into the study and dialed Konglji's private number. She rarely called this number on weekdays, and he always contacted her. On the way home, Konglji felt the phone vibrate and picked up the call. What's the matter? Ruan Fengruo's gentle voice sounded. Lji, my daughter made a bet with Ren Ran and lost. It will cost 30 million. If it was before, he would have no problem taking out 30 million. But since the last auction, he has spent a lot of private money, not to mention that Ren Suya used his secondary card to buy a lot of things for those two old guys and Ren Ran in the past few days. The money in the card is almost used up. I don't have that much money on hand now, Konglji refused. Ruan Fengruo frowned. She knew that he spent a lot of money on gifts for the mother and daughter last time, but she was sure that he still had a lot of investment money in funds, securities, etc. Even though she knew that he could give it, he didn't. Ruan Fengruo was not angry, but said sympathetically, I'll find a way myself. Her words made Konglji feel guilty. But when he thought that his liquid funds were almost used up and the rest of the funds could not be moved, he could only suppress that guilt. Wait until I get stable here, and pick you up to play for a few days. Ruan Fengruo was very happy about the sweet dates he threw. Okay. Hearing her joy, Konglji was satisfied. If he stood in front of Ruan Fengruo now, he would see that her excitement was superficial and not deep in her heart. Lji, I really feel sorry for you. You are under surveillance every day over there, and you can't be yourself for a moment, Ruan Fengruo said distressedly. Surveillance? What surveillance? Konglji grasped the key point. Ruan Fengruo was surprised. You don't know, they installed surveillance at home. What? Konglji's calm expression collapsed. Lji, don't you know? There is surveillance over there. Ruan Fengruo was surprised. Tell me what's going on. Ruan Fengruo softly told the story between her daughter and Ren Ran, focusing on the surveillance, and finally sighed, Lji, do you think that the mother and daughter know something? Konglji narrowed his eyes. Tell Lian Lian not to do anything yet, wait for my news. Okay. Konglji thought of the money that was cheated. I will transfer you 10 million, this is the money I can take out at present. The rest of the money is in investment and can't be taken out for a while. Lji, don't do this, I will find a way myself. Be good, I'll give it to you, you just keep it. After hanging up the phone, he narrowed his eyes, calmed down and carefully recalled the recent period of time. Whether there was anything abnormal, everything was normal. After thinking for a while, he finally decided to go back and take a look to feel at ease. When he returned to Haishi, he did not inform anyone, and he was ready to attack by surprise. When he returned to Zishan Villa, Ren Suya and Ren Ran were not there, only Aunt Li and several servants were at home. The master is back. Has the madam not come back yet? No, it's still with Director Ren. Konglji nodded slightly, strode towards the living room, and scanned the room, but didn't find any surveillance in the living room. Aunt Li felt strange. Sir, what are you looking for? Where is the surveillance that was placed here before? Surveillance? There is no surveillance here. Aunt Li was confused. Sir, where did you put it before? I'll ask other people if they saw it. No, I guess I made a mistake. Konglji returned to the study and checked it immediately, but didn't find any surveillance. Could it be a pinhole camera? Konglji called Ruan Fengruo, then send me a copy of the video. Okay, I'll let Lian Lian send it to you. Within 5 minutes, Konglji received the video. At first glance, he recognized that the video took place in the villa on the hillside, not the Zishan villa where they were living now. What a mistake. Kongji was somewhat glad that he didn't ask Ren Suya. It's not surprising that the old man installed surveillance. The progress on their side was not smooth, which affected his judgment and almost ruined his good deeds. I used to think that Lian was smart and could more than deal with Ren Ran, but now it seems that the child is no match for Ren Ran. He was calculating intentionally but still couldn't outsmart the other party, so stupid. He is not stupid, so he must have inherited her mother's genes.